Good morning to all. Now we are going to revise the lesson current electricity. Now see the electric current. Due to the random direction in the conductor, there is no net transfer of charge from the one end to another end of the conductor. There is no current at all. So positive charges flows from the higher electric potential to the lower electric potential. Okay, so it implies that it creates a potential difference across the conductor. So now we can define the electric current. If a net charge q passes through any cross section of the conductor in the time t, then the current is defined as the I is equal to q by t. For instantaneous current, I is equal to limit del t tends to 0, del q by del t. Del q by del t. This is a definition of the current. Next, drift velocity. So drift velocity means is the average velocity occurred by the electron inside the conductor when it is subjected to the electric field. Okay, and these electrons are drifted towards the positive terminal. So drift velocity Vd is equal to minus E tau by m into E vector. It can be write minus mu E. So from this, mobility mu is equal to Vd by E. In the microscopic model of the current, I is equal to NeaVd and the current density J is equal to I by D. It is defined as the current per unit area cross section of the conductor. So inverse of the conductivity is called as the resistivity rho. Rho is equal to 1 by sigma is equal to m by Ne square tau. Macroscopic form of Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. From this, R is the ratio of the potential difference across the given conductor to the current passing through the conductor. So R is equal to V by I. The unit of resistance is ohm. Okay, and when we draw the graph between the VA and I, if you get it a straight line, it will obey the Ohm's law. To obey the Ohm's law. These are ohmic devices. For non-ohmic devices, we are getting a curve. Now we see resistor in series and parallel. Series connection means when two or more resistors are connected end to end, then it is said to be series. In the series combination, current is same, voltage is different. If you derive it, we get Rs equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. In the parallel combination, voltage is same. When we derive it, we get a 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Next one, color code for the carbon resistor. These resistors are the inexpensive, stable and compact in the size. It is used to find the value of the resistance. The first two color mention the digit, third color mention the decimal multiplier, last color maintain the tolerance. Next, temperature coefficient of resistance. So alpha is equal to 1 by R naught into del R by del T. Del R is a change in resistance during the change in temperature del T. And this value is for the semiconductor. For the semiconductor, the resistivity is decreases with increase in temperature. As the temperature is increases, more electrons will be liberated from the atom. See, electric power. Power P is equal to VI. From this we can write, it can be write I squared R. Otherwise V squared by R. It is the power delivered to the resistance R. Next, electric energy. It will be measured in the joule. Practically, it is measured in kilowatt hour. So 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 1000 watt hour. It can be right. That is equal to 1000 watt into 3600 second. That is equal to 3.6 into 10 power 6 joule. So 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 3.6 into 10 power 6 joule. Next, we see electric cells and batteries. The electric cell convert the chemical energy into electrical energy to produce the electricity. They have in the two electrodes, and here electron flow from the negative terminal to the positive terminal through the circuit. By using this chemical reaction, a battery produces the potential difference across its terminal. This potential difference provides the energy to move the electrons through the circuit. Now we have in the commercial available electric cells and batteries. Next we see electromotive force and internal resistance. A battery or cell is called as the source of the EMF, that is electromotive force. Okay, the EMF of the battery or cell is the voltage provided by the battery when no current flows through the external circuit. Okay, the electromotive force will be determined the amount of, and it is denoted by the letter psi. Okay, an ideal battery has a zero internal resistance and the potential difference across the battery will be equal to the EMF. But a real battery is made up of with two electrodes and electrolyte. They are having some resistance to flow of charges within the battery. This is called as the internal resistance. Internal resistance. For real battery, the terminal voltage is not equal to the EMF. So internal resistance small r is equal to psi minus V by V into R. Psi V R are the known, the internal resistance R can be found. Now we are going to see cells in series. Several cells can be connected to form the battery. In the series connection, the negative terminal of the one cell is connected to the positive terminal of the second cell. Negative terminal of the second cell is connected to the positive terminal of the third cell. It will be going on. So the free positive terminal of the first cell and the free negative terminal of the last cell, it become the terminals of the battery. Okay, this is a diagram for the series combination. So total EMF of the battery is N into psi. Total resistance is internal plus external. So N small r plus capital R. And according to Ohm's law, current I is equal to N psi by NR plus capital R. Okay. Now we see cells in parallel. In the parallel connection, all the positive terminals of the cells are connected to the one point and all the negative terminals to the second point. These 2 points form the positive and negative terminal of the battery. Okay. Next we see Kirchhoff's rule. First rule, it is named as current rule or junction rule. Algebraic sum of the current at any junction of the circuit is 0. It is a statement of conservation of electric charge. So towards the junction, the current is considered as the positive. Away from the junction, current is considered as the negative. In this circuit, I1 and I2 are the positive, I3, I4 and I5 are the negative. So it can be right I1 plus I2 minus I3 minus I4 minus I5 is equal to 0. So I1 plus I2 is equal to I3 plus I4 plus I5. In the Kirchhoff's second rule, algebraic sum of this product of the current and resistance in each part of the circuit is equal to total EMF included in the circuit. And this will follow the law of conservation of energy. Now we see the Wheatstone bridge. Okay, Wheatstone bridge condition, P by Q is equal to R by S. Under this condition, galvanometer shows the null deflection. Next we see meter bridge. This is another form of the Wheatstone bridge. By using this one, we can calculate the unknown resistance. Unknown resistance. So P is equal to Q. So P is equal to Q into L1 by L2. Next, potentiometer. It is used for measure the accurate measurement of the potential differences, current and resistance. It has the 10 meter long uniform magnet wire. And by using this, we can compare the EMF of the two cells. That is E1 by E2 is equal to L1 by L2. Next, measurement of internal resistance by using the potentiometer. So here internal resistance can be found by the potentiometer. We know the potentiometer principle. E is directly proportional to L. So after the calculation, we get the internal resistance R is equal to capital R into L1 minus L2 by L2. Next we see Joule's law. If current I flows through the conductor kept across the potential difference V for the time t, the work done or the electric potential will be W is equal to VIT. So amount of heat produced by the conductor H is equal to VIT. Already we know V is equal to IR. I squared into RT. This relation is verified by the Joule. and is known as the Joule's law of heating. Joule's law of heating. It can be defined the heat developed in an electric circuit due to flow of current varies is directly square of the current and resistance of the circuit and time of flow. These three are directly proportional to the amount of heat produced by the conductor. This is a statement of the Joule's law. So H is equal to I squared RT. I squared RT. Next we see application of Joule's heating effect. These devices using the heating element of nichrome is a alloy of nickel and chromium because it has the high specific resistance and it can be heated to very high temperatures without oxidation. Next, electric fuses. It is connected in series in the circuit to protect the electric devices from the heat developed by the passage of excessive current. And it is have short length of wire. It is made up of low melting point material and it melts and breaks the circuit if a current exceeds a certain value. Here they are using the lead and tin copper wire melt and burn out when the current is increases above 5 ampere and 35 ampere respectively. Next, electric furnace. It is used to manufacture of large number of technologies important material like steel, silicon, carbide, quartz and gallium. It produces the temperatures up to 1500 degrees Celsius. Molybdenum nichrome wire wound on the silica tube is used. Carbon arc furnace, it produces a temperature is up to 3000 degrees Celsius. Next, electric lamp. It consists of the tungsten filament of melting point 3380 degrees Celsius. It is kept inside the glass bulb and also it is heated to the higher temperature by the current. Here electric bulbs only about the 5% of the electric energy is converted into light. Remaining is wasted as the heat energy. Next one, thermoelectric effect. That means conversion of the temperature differences into the electrical voltage and vice versa is known as a thermoelectric effect. It generates the voltage when there is a temperature difference on the each side. In that thermoelectric effect, here going to study three effects: Seebeck, Peltier and Thomson. First one, Seebeck. It was discovered by the Seebeck. Here, when the two dissimilar metals are connected, the junctions will be formed. And these two junctions are kept in two different temperatures, one cold and hot junctions. Now, potential difference is developed between the two junctions. So, now current is flow due to the EMF is developed is called as a thermoelectric current. The two dissimilar metals connected to form the two junction is known as the thermocouple. Seebeck effect is used to generate the generators and it is used in power plants to convert the waste heat to electricity and it is utilized in the automobiles and then it is next one, Peltier. It was discovered by Peltier in the year of 1834. When the electric current is passed through the circuit of the thermocouple, the heat is evolved at the one junction and absorbed at the another junction. This is called as the Peltier effect. Here, the Peltier effect is the reversible. Next one, Thomson effect. If two points in the conductor are at different temperatures, the density of the electrons at these points will be differ. As a result, the potential difference is created between the 2 points. This is called as a Thomson effect. Here Thomson effect is also reversible. Okay. Here two effects are having positive and negative. The positive effect, for example, silver, zinc and cadmium. For negative effect, we can observe in the material of platinum, nickel, cobalt and mercury. That's all.